Hello, everyone, and welcome to this live session of chart readings. I do apologize for my delay. I am aware that I'm a little bit late. It's because I was having issues with the internet. So hopefully that is us up and running. So hello, everyone. My name is Hannah. I am a Western Practical Astrologer, and I am here today to do some readings, live readings. So it is $20 per question, and then it is $25 for a 10-minute reading. So let me know in the chat if you would like to, if you would like me to read your chart, or if you have a question. But yeah, it is $20 per question, and then $25 for 10 minutes. So just let me know. And of course, you need to have your birth information. So your place of birth, your date of birth, time of birth as well. Make sure you have all of that correct, because I'm going to be typing it into the chart generator. And then I'm going to display the chart on the screen. And then I'll also have a version on my phone so I can look at things that way too. But yeah, let me know if anybody wants a reading today. So like I said, it is $20 per question, and then it's $25 for a 10-minute reading. Which you do it on here, by the way. You do it on the live chat. Hello, hi, hello everyone. Yes, $25 for like a general overview for 10 minutes. That's right. So I could look at certain areas for you. Yeah, like you said, such as love, career, stuff like that. Hello, hi, welcome everyone. My earphones are annoying me a little bit. I think it's because I have earphones in all the time, and then they're never out of my ears, so they agitate my ears a little bit. I'm very, very sensitive. So like I said, just remember your place of birth, your date of birth, your time of birth. And of course, this goes without saying, you're aware that, so you do it through here. You do it on YouTube. There is I'm pretty sure you do it on Super Chat. There should be an option down below. Oh, that's great, Jay. Great to hear. I'm glad. So where did you, let me see, home, you say you sent 25. I haven't gotten anything through. Usually whenever money is sent through on here, I get the info. Let me see. Okay, just give me a moment. Obviously we want to try and get through these. Okay, you can see it. Okay, I need to see why it is. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's because of the internet. This is my first time doing this, so please be patient with me. I will try to get through these. It's at the very top. Okay, let me have a look. Usually I see it. Okay, I'm seeing one. But just here a moment, just slow it down a little bit, because I want to try and get through these. It was before, right? Okay, let me have a look. Okay, I'm seeing them now. Okay, perfect. So home then, so we'll start with you. Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take note of your information, and then we'll do your reading. And then other people who have paid so far. So Jazz, Inside Out with Jazz, you have paid, I've noticed. Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much. And then Amaya Oracle, you've also paid. Thank you. And then I'm also getting through Kina. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. Okay, so anybody else who is wanting a reading, just I would suggest holding fire, okay, because that's 4 now in the queue. And we want to try and get through these. And then there's also going to be a cutoff period, of course. We're going to try and aim for about half 7 British summer time, between 7:30 and 7:45. We'll go for that, okay? So I'm going to do the first one now, and just be patient with me while I type everything in. Take note of everything. Thank you so much, by the way, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. The new moon in Gemini is approaching. How are you feeling about it? So, firstly, let's do this. Edit. Other. I know I'm not really saying much. It's just because I have like this focus face on. I want to make sure that I get the correct info. But I hope you are doing good, and I hope you enjoy this. 2:45. Okay, so where are you? Let me just scroll up a wee second. Home. Home. I have for you then the 5th of September, 1977. 5th of September 1977, and then 2:45 p.m. and that's in Walnut Creek, California, USA. Greetings to you, by the way, home. Okay. Okay, so for this one, you just want 10 minutes then? 10 minutes kind of going through things, or would you like me to look at any specific area? I just need to double check what you said there. Okay, you sent the payment 977, 5th of September, 2:45. Okay, great. Okay, we got that all. Okay, so I will save this and then I will show the chart up above. Chart. Here, 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 here. Go here, go here. As you can see, I like to walk through things. Okay, so this is a copy of your chart. You said whatever I feel pulled to share. Okay, so what is jumping out at me within this chart is the fact that you have the Sun and Mercury retrograde in Virgo in the 10th house. Okay, so I would say that with having the Sun in the 10th house, you consider yourself to find a lot of purpose from the work that you do, from the services that you provide to the public. Maybe your career path has involved working within an area of service of some kind, and also looking at communication there with Mercury, of course, organizing, filing, sorting things out, making sure that information is correct. Oh, also, I'm going to put a timer on just really quickly. So there we go. Timer. Yeah, so making sure that all of the information is correct. Maybe this could be like proofreading or having to double check things, and really having to use your intellect in a very analytical way. There is this sorting out process when it comes to Virgo. And so you may be seen as this type of individual within your professional life, when it comes to your career, when it comes to how you present yourself in front of the public. Now, with that being said, of course, you do have the rising sign, which is in Sagittarius. So there is this explorative outlook that you have on life. You may have this outlook on life where it's like the glass is half full, or you try to look on the brighter side of things. You prefer to look on the more positive side of things. Now, on the other hand, we got to consider how things are appearing in your ninth house. So what is also jumping out to me is how you have that Saturn energy in the ninth, and it's in Leo, and then you also have Venus there in the ninth. So in this respect, it could be that you seem to be somewhat more realistic or pragmatic about your outlook, or there is this kind of seriousness when it comes to your outlook as well. And it could even be that there were some restrictions and limitations to do with your beliefs growing up, and maybe even specifically coming from a father figure, feeling like your beliefs were blocked or limited. And so I would say that over the years, of course, I understand that you were born in 1977. You've went through your first Saturn return. So over the years here home, I think that you have been able to establish a greater sense of confidence when it comes to your beliefs. And I also see this as you taking your higher learning, your higher knowledge seriously, being dedicated to a certain way of learning, and even looking at the ninth house through a lens of advanced training. So advanced training, you may be someone who's continuously taking on new training programs or having to improve, having to perfect. And that also goes hand in hand, I think, with you having the sun in Virgo. Keep in mind that the sun is the ruler of Leo. So the sun in Virgo there as well, looking at that perfectionist outlook and just improving. I think what's quite important to you is improving upon things, improving upon yourself, and being able to approach life in this way as well, I would say. And then I would also think here that with Venus being in the ninth house, there is this love for travel. There's this love to visit certain countries that really capture your heart. Though what I want to say with this for you home, something that's coming up for me is the fact that Venus is now in Leo. So you're actually going through your Venus return, and Venus is going to turn retrograde in Leo from the 22nd of July to the 3rd of September. So I would say that this time period will really be important for you, especially important because you have Venus already in Leo. So really considering then what your values are, what your principles are, your morals, thinking about even self-respect, your dignity. And I would say too that there perhaps throughout your life there has been some blocks or limitations to do with people from abroad, especially looking at lovers and partners who you have gotten together with. Maybe you were traveling, or maybe maybe you met someone whilst you're abroad, and then there was a long-term committed thing going on there, but perhaps at the same time you've had to really work on yourself. And furthermore, what I want to say is, with the Venus retrograde, I think this will give you an opportunity to really reassess what your values are, to reassess even what really limits you when it comes to self-expression, when it comes to confidence, when it comes to how you show up within your relationships, considering the fact that that Venus retrograde will, of course, start to pass over that Saturn energy. It will actually make a conjunction at some point. But going back to the Sagittarius information, so Neptune is also there. So I would say that you can come across as quite a spiritual person, as quite intuitive, or as very charitable, very generous, very giving of your time, even possibly giving of your resources. Yeah, you can give off this larger than life sort of appearance, this larger than life approach. But at the same time, there is this mystical sort of esoteric feel to you. And then I'd also say that perhaps what you've had to really work on throughout your life is establishing healthy boundaries between you and others. We even notice here that the moon, so you have your moon in Gemini, right? And it's opposite that ascendant. It's also opposite Neptune there. Black Moon Lilith is also there in Gemini, and it's conjunct your moon. I'm going to be very honest about what I see here. I try to be really honest about what I see within readings and everything. So I hope I'm not getting too personal for you, but yeah, what I'm noticing here then are these real power struggles when it comes to relationships. We are noticing here possibly you suppressing your own thoughts and feelings, having to deny your truth, so to speak, and feeling sort of like you were overpowered or you had to push yourself out of an unhealthy situation. Um, so yeah, and then also I think that over the years you have been able to get to a point where you can now speak up more clearly within your relationships. I mean, we even look here to the transits that are going on right now. So the sun is transiting your seventh, Juno is also there, Mercury is also there, then the new moon is coming up in Gemini. So I would say this is a season, this is an opportunity for you to really assess, how far you've come with respect to that, your communication, how you communicate when it comes to those one-to-one relationships. Also, you may actually be quite good at business. So it's almost like how to sell something, how to sell a point, a product. And then I also think with the moon energy opposing that Neptune energy, this is also going back to what I was saying with the boundaries thing. So yeah, especially thinking about your feelings, your emotions. Yeah, we are noticing some tensions here when it comes to your relationships, but at the same time, perhaps you have really been working on these things over the years. What else can I say here? Okay, also what is jumping out at me is, so Jupiter is actually there conjunct Mars in Cancer in the 8th house. Now, Jupiter, of course, is exalted in Cancer. So do you know what? I think that when it comes to intimacy and connection and closeness, I think that you can be really soft and kind and sensitive. Maybe this is also why it's important to set those boundaries or to protect your heart at times, because maybe you're so sensitive and you can take things so personally. You can take in things really, really deeply. I would say that you have a very sensitive side to your personality that is often overlooked or hidden, and maybe it's hidden until the time or the point that you feel like you can really trust someone else, right? Um, and then the last thing that I want to touch on with this, let's see, you do have Pluto there in Libra in the 11th house, and then there's the midheaven in Libra. So I think you can come across as a very influential person. Even the North Node is in Libra there. And I would say perhaps it's conjunct Pluto. So I think that a lot of your life mission, your life purpose is really about you stepping into your own power, really becoming somewhat substantial and powerful in front of a crowd, powerful in front of an audience, being able to establish these healthy relationships when it comes to teams and networks and groups. Yeah, making an impact upon society, I think. And perhaps this is tied to your your higher meaning. Pluto can look at our higher meaning in a way. So, well, a deeper meaning, should I say. So, yeah, I think that there is this depth that you bring to your communities and teams, and perhaps you have experienced many transformations. You've grown a lot over the years with respect to your teams, alliances, the organizations that you are a part of. Okay, so home, that was yours. I hope that you find it to be useful. Let me know if you have any feedback for me. Please let me know. It would be much appreciated. Okay, so let's scroll down. Okay, I would say, folks, to ease up on the sending money, because the cutoff period today is 7:45. Okay, so Inside Out with Jazz, can you please send me, or if you're still there, can you please send me your info? Let me see if you already did. There's just a lot of information here. Okay, I'm reading here. Struggling with love life, single but in love with a Sag Sun. Also my finances. Single mom of 2. Do you see anything promising me moving to New York next fall? Okay. So did you send me your, yes, you've got it. Okay, so the 30th of April, 1990, 4:57 p.m. Brooklyn. Okay. All right. Mm-mm. 4:57 p.m. (4:57 p.m. 30th of April 1990). Okay. I like to double check. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry, I have a question for you. Let me. Jazz, can you please let me know in which part of Brooklyn? Can you be more specific with your location, please? Just gonna stop sharing my screen for the moment. Let me see if I can maybe if I can find it. Because so it says here Brooklyn Kings County, Brooklyn Delaware County, or Brooklyn Cattaraugus County. Kings. Okay. Or just put New York, New York. Okay. I'll do that then. I'll put New York, New York. Okay. So 4:57 p.m., 30th of April, 1990. So you want to know let me see if I so you want to know about love life and then about New York by next fall. So next fall, 2024. Okay. I'm going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to check your solar return chart just to see if there's any indicators. Okay, so that's today. Yeah. 2024. Okay. So what I'll do here is I will see if Jazz 1, Jazz 2. And then if I go, okay, 10 minutes you want. Okay, perfect. So I'll show this one first. Right, so I want to, for you, Jazz, so I'm going to put on the timer now. For you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you your solar return chart for next year. So this is from 2024 next year. If I share this with you. Okay. So if you notice 2023. Yeah. So if you notice here, right, so this is your solar return chart. And basically what we're noticing on this chart is that you will experience a Sagittarius rising year. So experiencing a Sagittarius rising year can indicate travel, okay? So it can indicate relocation, it can indicate moving in this way. But then also I would say another thing, if we consider how the third house is more so to do with short distance trips, it's more so to do with your local area. So you're wanting to know about moving to New York City next fall from Brooklyn. What was that your question? Because with the third house, that can look at short distance, that can look at your local area and possibly even then transforming in a way, right? A completely different place, a completely different area. But the thing I suppose with this is Rhode Island, you said. Well, I think with the Aquarius energy in the third, and then with Pluto being there too, the thing that I want you to keep in mind with this is that the move that you're talking about, it may not be the most, let's say, straightforward. It may not be the most smooth sailing. It could be that there's a bit of turbulence, or it could be that you will have to sort of expect the unexpected, or it's that things will just happen and you'll have to readjust. And maybe certain things won't go according to plan with respect to moving, with respect to your local area, your neighborhood, etc. But then it's also about coming to a place of experiencing greater power, or showing this determination. I just want to say here, folks, please hold off on sending me money, okay? Because I'm still trying to get through everybody else's. Okay, hold off. So yeah, and then also I want to look at your actual chart. So I'll share this one with you now too. And then we'll get into more detail with it. Yeah. Yep. Okay, and then what I want to share with you here is, in your natal chart here, it shows that you have the part of fortune in Sagittarius in the third house. So I would say here that this does point toward, some blessings, luck when it comes to your local area. And this could then indicate that things may be somewhat open, or it's that you gain plenty of opportunities from all of this, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that could point towards something that's quite positive and beneficial for you. And then let's also look at other parts of your chart. So you wanted to know also about love life. So okay, so what I find quite significant about your chart here is how Chiron is there in Aries. So it's transiting your seventh house. Chiron is transiting your seventh house. And then with Aries being in the seventh house, of course, I mean, this could be where you tend to attract partners who can come across as pushy, assertive, they take the lead. Maybe you're attracted to partners who can take the lead. You're attracted to partners who know what they're doing. They're sure of themselves. But Chiron here is somehow coming along, and it's highlighting some soft spots, some sensitive areas. It's looking at here these possible difficulties in relating and connecting, trying to negotiate as well. But I think at the same time, this is also about you recognizing your inner strength, your inner authority within your relationships, having the strength in order to sort of be independent, or to stand up for yourself. And I think typically when it comes to Libra risings, with that Aries energy, the Aries descendant, what often happens is that within relationships, you guys can be quite assertive. You can take the lead. And then what I further want to mention with this is you do have this eighth house energy going on. So you have the Sun, Mercury retrograde in Taurus in the eighth house of intimacy. So let's think about intimate partners, intimate relationships, and then let's also consider how that energy is opposing, well, it's opposing Pluto, it's opposing Black Moon Lilith and Juno, right? Juno is tied to our meaningful bonds, our meaningful relationships. And then with it in Scorpio, I mean, Jazz, you need that connection, you need that closeness, you need that emotional bond. And it appears as if you can clash, you can really clash, especially with partners who are too demanding, too stuck in their ways, too stubborn, and they're not willing to budge, they're not willing to change. So I think there are big themes here coming up to do with you getting to a place of, you know what, I don't need that. I don't need that. I need to think about what I need. I need to think about my life, my direction, my path. And then if we also consider how the North Node has been transiting your eighth house, it's been passing over all that Taurus energy for you, and then opposing, or it's been passing over the Taurus energy. It's been opposing the Scorpio energy since like January 2022. So I think that you've really been addressing these relationship patterns, these intimacy patterns. And then with Jupiter coming along and it's transiting your eighth house for the next year or so, this is giving you this like bigger perspective. Okay. And I also think with Uranus transiting your eighth house right now, and for a long time, you've had all of these flashes of insight, and it's like freedom, freedom, freedom. Okay. Really, I see this as you really working on yourself, and you doing just more of that psychological, that the psychological work, the inner work. I think that you're someone who you prefer to really understand why you act the way you do, why it is that you come across the way you do. But the thing about this is that you need that from someone else. You need a partner who is willing to look within themselves, you know, and do that inner discovery, that inner work themselves. And then I also want to say with this, so you've got Cancer on the midheaven, you've got Jupiter there, it's exalted, it's conjunct the midheaven. I mean, did you say, I'm pretty sure you mentioned there that you're a mother? Let me go back up and just double check that information. And I want to read through what you were saying there, home, as well. There's just so much info. Yeah, you're a single mom of two girls. Okay. So yeah, it's like with that Cancer midheaven, and Jupiter there, I mean, Ceres too. I mean, Ceres is also tied to attachment, fertility, motherhood. Cancer, the sign of the mother. The moon is also home in Cancer. Like this 10th house energy of Cancer is pointing toward how your purpose is so tied to nurturing, being motherly, but then also you want a good life for your family. Jupiter there will not allow for anything that is too harsh or limiting. It's about, right, okay, let's grow, let's create a safe space here. You need that safety. And then even with Chiron being there, I mean, this can point toward how perhaps you have been wounded in the past when it comes to family relationships. And so you're on this, like, I would say you're on this mission toward breaking family, what is it, family curses, I think that's the whole saying. But yeah, it's like you don't want to repeat those same cycles for your family. And I think that, yeah, you have a lot to give in terms of how nurturing and loving you can be, and you're so supportive toward your family, and they're lucky to have you, Jazz. Okay. Your girls are lucky to have you. And yeah, so that is the time for you. I hope that's okay, Jazz. I hope that was an okay answer for you. Hopefully I'll be able to even follow things through with new technology in the future, but this is what we're working with today. So who is next? Actually, I want to... for my first reference of practical astrology. You see a whole different person being depicted. Interesting, home. Well, I hope that you benefited from it. I hope you find it to be beneficial. Okay, so let's look next person. Okay, Amaya. Oh no, Cynthia. So sorry, Cynthia. So you were born on the 30th of November, 1987, 7:45 p.m. Edison, New Jersey. Okay. Right, let me just get that information. Oh, and you want to know about the North Node moving into Aries? North Node in Aries. And how it will affect your Aries stellium. Okay. And whatever jumps out at me. Okay. And of course, Jazz, no problem. Thank you so much. I really hope that you find it to be useful today and beneficial. I'm aware that these readings, 10 minutes, these readings are only 10 minutes. They're very quick. And I'm just going off what I see in the chart. You, of course, folks, you can book an in-depth, more personal reading with me. Yeah, you can go to my website, hannahselsewhere.com. Okay, so let's see. Let's get your information, Cynthia. 30th of November at 1987 and 7:45. United States. Edison. New Jersey. Okay, in New Jersey, can you please tell me, Cynthia, were you born in Middlesex County or Sussex County? Where are you? Also, there will be a video coming about house systems. I use whole signs, but I'm also willing to use different house systems. But yeah, whole signs is my go-to, and there will be more information about that. I just want to say, for anyone new joining, please hold off on sending me money, okay? Because I'm still trying to get through these ones, and I want to make sure that I get through everybody. So please hold off. Okay, Middlesex. Okay. Thank you. Mm, 7:45, 30th of November, 1987. Okay, go. And you want to know about, the stellium. Okay. Save your chart. And Cynthia. All right, Cynthia. Okay, great. And again, please, anybody who's new, do not send me money. Do not send me money. People in the comments just say, don't send her money right now. Right, okay, Cynthia. So I'm going to put the timer on for yourself and whatever jumps out at me, and you're saying about the stellium and the North Node. Okay. So what can I say about this, Cynthia? So you have this Aries energy going on in the 10th house. You have your moon in Aries. Oh, you have Jupiter in the 10th house as well. And then, okay, so you're about to experience your North Node return. Your nodal return. So I would say that for you, Cynthia, already you're such a go-getter when it comes to your professional life, even when it comes to your reputation, your public image. You may have so many passions and visions and aspirations, and you love to go after your goals. You can be this very fiery person whenever the time strikes. It's like nobody is going to get in the way of the things that you want to achieve. And then I also see this as you possibly taking on leadership positions, so where you are a leader, or where you are the person in charge, or where you are the person who is really taking taking charge within a lecture, within a higher educational program of some sort, maybe even thinking about mentoring, or being this teacher, this professor like individual toward others. And then even being recognized for your support, for the ways in which you support other people. Yeah, you can come across as very inspiring, very inspirational to many people. And maybe you like to be known for these qualities within yourself. Now, with that being said, of course, Chiron has been making this transit. It's been transiting your 10th house for quite a while. It's part of the 7-year chapter. So I would say that perhaps there have been some decisions to do with your public life, your profession, that have been difficult and challenging to make. And maybe you've had to, let some positions go, or you've had to make peace with certain roles. And I even think that with the North Node then entering Aries from July until January 2025, this is going to be an opportunity for you to redirect a few things, for you to maybe even assess your position, your role, and to reconsider, what it is that you really want, what it is that you really want to do, what it is that you really want to achieve. And yeah, maybe there's a new vision, there's a new path, there's a new way. And even thinking about this further, you did experience your Jupiter return. So Jupiter was in Aries there last year. And then even, for a part of last year. And it was also in Aries at the beginning of the year up until, where are we looking? Up until the 16th of May. So Jupiter, of course, entered Taurus on the 16th of May. So you went through your Jupiter return. And so I think that this could have brought up all of these epiphanies, these realizations about opportunity, about growth, about expansion, about, oh my gosh, what is my higher meaning? What is my purpose? Where do I belong in this world? Speaking of belonging, though, I know I'm clicking quite a lot. Just like get really into this. I have a lot of passion. I also have an Aries moon, so maybe you can relate, Cynthia. But speaking of belonging is like so important to you. You have a Cancer rising, right? And then the moon, of course, is your chart ruler. So with you having a Cancer rising, it's like, yes, you're about togetherness, belonging, finding the people that you can really connect with on an emotional level. Family may be very important to you in that, you need to feel safe. You need to feel safe and supported by your family, by your loved ones. And you also can behave this way, act this way toward people in your life. Though, with that being said, let's consider how you have the IC also in Libra. Okay, so of course, the 4th house is the house traditionally ruled by Cancer. So I think that there is a part of you that prefers just to keep the peace within your family, within your home surroundings. You like for things to be in their place. You like for things to be somewhat pleasant and more harmonious, I would say. And I think that it can really create a lot of tension and anxiety whenever things aren't harmonious. It's so interesting to me because there's this inner part of you, there's this private part of you that's like, yeah, okay, let's just get along, let's make things more peaceful, cooperative, etc. But there's this other bigger part of you that is so much like, okay, let's just do it. Let's just assert ourselves. Let's just take action here. Let's be direct about this situation. This is an emergency. This needs to be handled right now. And you know what? Thinking about this further, maybe this is why you need things to be somewhat balanced and pleasant at home, because you have so much going on professionally. You have so much going on when it comes to what you do out there in the public, in front of the public. And so, yeah, you need that time to be able to rejuvenate, to rest, to recharge. And I think your privacy is also quite important in this way too. Now, on the other hand, of course, you have your Venus in Capricorn. Okay, so Venus is the ruler of Libra. Venus is in Capricorn. It's also conjunct Neptune there as well in the seventh house. So I would say that often you can take on this sort of parental type of role within your relationships. I think that you prefer to just get to the point of, okay, what are we and where's this going and what is the future? I don't really see this as you putting up with really immature behavior. And I also think at the same time with Neptune there can be self-sacrificing. The lines can be blurred often when it comes to relationships. And I think as well, I would be cautious of, walking in this kind of idealistic world, this fantasy world, and just being careful about where your boundaries are and what boundaries you set and what you commit yourself to as well. But what I would say on a positive note with this is I think with Neptune being there conjunct Venus, it does highlight that when it comes to your relationships, you're willing to go the extra mile, right? And you're willing to really hear where the other person is coming from. And then I even think with business, right? Let's think about the seventh house through the lens of business partners. Capricorn in the seventh house, it is like let's get down to business. Let's sort this out here. I still think at the same time with Neptune, there's something quite elusive here. There's something that's quite foggy, and perhaps you've had to be really honest with yourself in the past about the types of people that you work with, about the types of clients you have, etc. Just making sure that you know where you're at and they know where they're at, and not falling for any tricks or deception or deceit, this type of stuff. And then I also want to mention here that you have your Mars in Scorpio and it's conjunct Pluto as well. And Mars in Scorpio is also making that sextile to Venus. So there's no fooling you. Okay. There's no fooling you. It's like you can have this lie detector sort of outlook in a way, especially when it comes to romantic partners. I think you can be even very protective of the ones that you love. And then I also see this as you enjoying investigating, like research during your spare time as well, like thinking about your hobbies, what you do for fun, what you do for pleasure. It's like, right, okay, I'm going to do a lot of investigating today, or I'm going to figure something out. You don't let things rest easily. So if there are any issues that arise when it comes to the work relationships that I was talking about, if there are any issues that arise when it comes to your partnerships, you're gonna get right to the heart of the matter, right? You're gonna be like, tell me it straight right now or else. And then you've got Mercury and Scorpio as well, which is adding to this, plus you're a Sagittarius. So with the Sagittarius energy, you've got a lot of it. It's like, just be real, be honest, just cut to the chase here. And then I also think as well, with all that Sagittarius energy in the sixth house, perhaps what you really find purpose in is it's experiencing space, freedom when it comes to your services, when it comes to the work that you do. And then also space and freedom when it comes to your routines, your daily habits, and so on. Of course, with Saturn being there in Sagittarius, you have went through your Saturn return, your first one. But with Saturn being there in Sagittarius, perhaps there were limitations and blockages to do with these things, especially when you were younger. But I think you've been able to establish yourself a lot more over the years. Okay, so that was That was for you, Cynthia. So that's your reading. Right, who is next? I hope you find that to be helpful. Let's see. So again, please do not send me any more money, folks. Do you know what? Can I change I'm going to try and change the title so that nobody else can send me money. Right, let me see. Readings full. Save. Sure. Let's see if that works. Will that change? We'll keep going anyway. Yay, good. I'm so glad, Cynthia. Yay. Okay, next. Let's see who we got next. Okay, is it Kina? Is that how you pronounce your name? And then I will take note here. So you were born in the States. How do they? The 12th? The 12th? The 12th of November, is that right? I'll write this down and then I'll go down in the comments and then I'll have a look. Spartanburg, South Carolina, USA. Okay. And then go down to the very bottom. Yes. Okay. Yes and yes. So yeah, 12th of November, just to clarify, 12th of November, 1972, 5:55 a.m., Spartanburg, South Carolina, USA. Ooh. Right. Let's plug. Let's do this. 1972. Other say Spartanburg, South Carolina. As you can tell, I like to talk to myself whilst I'm doing this. It's to keep me on track a little bit. Okay. Kina. Go here. Okay. Okay, Kina. So you said here, general reading is fine. Anything intense, Dana, give me the hard stuff. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Speaking tomorrow for an event. Okay. Okay. So I just want to clarify that, yeah, I will let you know, but I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead here. Okay. So Kina, put the timer on now. 10 minutes. All right. So what I find instantaneously, what I find really interesting about this, Kina, is the fact that you said to me, give you the hard stuff. And well, you have a Scorpio rising. You are a Scorpio. Okay. So your sun is in Scorpio. It's right there within the first house. Black Moon Lilith is also in Scorpio. Juno, Ceres. Okay. So yeah, you are someone who does not shy away from the hard stuff. Let's just say that. You are someone who perhaps has been through quite a lot of intensity throughout your life, much turbulation, many, well, transformations, death and rebirth when it comes to Scorpio, of course. And so, yeah, nothing can really scare you. Nothing can really shock you or surprise you. It's almost this whole notion of you've seen it all. And then also, I see this as you really growing into this individual who is able to support other people with your wisdom. There's such an element to Scorpio that is about determination and being driven and overcoming and fighting, fighting for yourself, defending yourself, being powerful. And then also self-mastery. There is this whole part of it where um over the span of your life, you grow stronger and stronger, and there is this giving back quality as well to Scorpio, where it's like you can be highly compassionate and really understanding, but that doesn't mean that you're going to tolerate poor behavior. That doesn't mean that you're going to tolerate people who disrespect you, who overstep their mark, etc. You are going to cut that off really, really quickly. Now, of course, you can be I would say that you can be empathetic and you try to understand, but if you notice that anything is too shady or strange or rude or cruel, then yeah, you're gonna have the courage to stand up for yourself and to even stand up for other people. Now, I also see this as you. I see this as you wanting to establish meaningful bonds, meaningful relationships. The reason why I say this is because you have Juno there. So Juno is there in Scorpio. And so Juno is tied to meaningful relationships, meaningful bonds. And so I think for you, it's about trust, commitment, intimacy. Um, I think it's about being honest and just real and raw in emotion in a way. But at the same time, maybe it is that you can, especially in the past, you have hidden quite a bit from certain partners, and maybe you've had to, maybe you've had to keep a lot of things hidden because of safety, because of protection, or because it's like, you know what, I don't have to tell you all my business, and when I'm ready to tell you, I'll tell you. And this is where we also notice, of course, with you having Saturn there in Gemini. Okay, so you have experienced your first Saturn return, and your second Saturn return, of course, will come in the next 3, 6, 9, like 10-ish years. But that's just going off the top of my head. It's probably a bit shorter than that. But still, with you going through your first Saturn return, I think you have gotten to this point of maturity when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to this whole notion of sharing. Also, I see this as there being, especially in your earlier years, your earlier days, a lot of issues with joint finances, with debt, with being on the same page when it comes to shared resources. So thinking about the eighth house through this lens. So maybe there have been delays, struggles in communication, struggles in understanding, where you're coming from, where the other person is coming from, and possibly reaching these points of, I would say, like no return almost, or reaching these points of stagnation where it's like, right, okay, how are we going to move here? How are we going to budge here? And well, okay, you did say you wanted the hard stuff. And this is just going off a complete, right? I could be wrong in saying this, but perhaps you have experienced some type of divorce or separation in the past. And the reason why I'm saying this, because Saturn is there in the eighth house. And then also Pluto, Venus, Uranus, Mars are all in Libra. Libra, the sign of relationships, there is in the 12th house. So it could be that perhaps you've went through some type of separation or divorce or really horrendous breakups throughout your life, where it's like there have been these serious issues, like these serious issues to do with sharing, these serious issues to do with boundaries and commitments. And it's like, don't do that. Don't be like that toward me. And maybe you've had to put your foot down so many times, right? Where it's like, don't disrespect me, don't come at me, don't give me that. And seeing through a lot of deceit and lies and all that, just yeah, I just think I don't want to turn it into this super negative thing. I really don't. But I am noticing here with all of this Libra energy going on in your 12th house, especially with Uranus there and then Saturn mixed in, making the trine to Gemini, it just appears as if you have been through all of these chaotic moments and these ups and downs with partners. And it's like, is anyone normal, or is anyone sane, or is anyone, kind and supportive here? Now, with that being said, of course, this also points toward transformation, right? Like I said, you've been through your first Saturn return, and maybe that first Saturn return of yours, whenever you were around about the age of 30, it really woke you up to a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. And you were like, I'm not going back there again. I've matured, I've moved on. I've been able to get real with myself, and I understand myself. And maybe you've even worked on your inner self a lot, right? You're a Scorpio. You have so much Scorpio energy. You have that Saturn energy in the 8th house. And a lot of this, I think, oh, also the 12th house, right? The 12th house can also, look at that inner work too, renewal, rejuvenation. So I think that throughout your life, you've been able to get to this point of like, do you know what? Yeah, I'm looking within myself. I'm having to address a lot of the stuff from the past, my inner demons, the things that I battled with so much. And because you know yourself so much more, you're at a point where it's like only healthy. I want only healthy relationships in my life, healthy partners, healthy friends. I'm not going back there again. And so yeah, perhaps it is that you have went through these real transformations throughout your life when it comes to these types of things, Kina. And then what else could I say? I would say even with the stellium and the 12th house, I would say that there's a lot of like there's a lot of focus upon your spirituality and your spiritual self, your spiritual practices. Maybe you've actually been able to reach this state of equilibrium and more inner peace, inner calm throughout your life. I'm speaking right now and I'm being very like rah, but my Aries moon is like because I'm passionate. I have a lot of passion, but I think that with you've gotten to this point of like, you know what? I've been able to regulate a lot more, and I feel a lot more calmer, and I'm not as angry as I used to be, or I'm not as bitter or as resentful as I used to be. And that's required a lot of grace, a lot of humility as well, a lot of humility, and going through then these real deeper transformations to do with your core, the understanding that the core of who you are and how it is that you show up when it comes to other people. So yeah, there's this whole notion, I think, of you reaching this state, this place of equilibrium and harmony. And yeah, perhaps the journey hasn't been the easiest. It's been full of ups and downs, a lot of having to address old things, old patterns, old ways of doing things. But I really do see this as you getting to a point in your life where it's like, yeah, I'm here and I'm really proud of myself. And then let's also consider how you have the moon in Capricorn. Let's finish off by addressing your moon in Capricorn. So with the moon in Capricorn, I actually see this as you being very ambitious, like inwardly ambitious, inwardly strong and determined. You're a very, very dedicated individual. And I think with the North Node even being there in Capricorn and Jupiter, you've had to kind of grow into these qualities throughout your life. You've had to really grow to become somewhat inwardly strong and dedicated and self-reliant, being a self-sufficient person too. Whew. Okay, so that was yours, Kina. Thank you so much. I hope you found it to be useful, and I hope, I hope it was good. Oh wow. Okay, Kina. Okay, so you said, divorced. Yes, facts, and you're happy single. Yeah, good. I'm glad. Yeah, it's I'm glad that you're happy. That's the main thing. Okay, so next. Kina. Now we have Junia. Junia? Is it Junia? Am I saying your name correctly? I hope so. I do apologize if I don't say people's names correctly. So the 21st of June, is that right? 1966, 5:53 p.m. Oh no, sorry. You were born in Juneau, Alaska? And can you please do you have what is your name? Is it Ellie? Ellie? J? What do you see how love life? Okay. Ellie. Yeah, Ellie. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Let's type in location. Juneau. On the 21st of June. Oh, happy birthday to you. It's coming up. Oh no. Yeah, it's coming up. That's summer solstice. Your birthday's on the summer solstice. 53. 5:53. Okay. So basically you have a question. So this is a question. All right, so you want to know about love. Okay, let me get, if I go here, oh, here, I'm just gonna, I want to check your solar return. Go here. 20, okay, that's 24. Go back. We want it to be 23. Okay. Right. So your question for me, Ellie, was to do with love life. So, okay, what I am noticing from this is, okay, I can actually show you. I want to show, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Go here. Okay, so this is basically, yes, please don't send me any more at the moment. Thank you. Okay, so this is basically your solar return chart for this year, Lena. Now, in terms of love, okay, so in terms of love for this year, just going off the solar return chart, we're noticing here, okay? I'm very honest about what I see, okay? And what we notice is that you have Pluto retrograde there in the 5th house in Capricorn, and then it's also it's making this sextile to Neptune there in Pisces, and then Saturn retrograde is also in Pisces there in the 7th house for this year. And then you have a lot of that Leo energy going on in the 12th. Okay, I would say with this one, be very cautious of relationships that are like a relationship that is elusive, or it's too dreamlike, or basically what I'm getting from this, right, is someone selling you an idea, selling you a dream, selling you this relationship, like, yes, let's be together, but really try and step back and look at it for what it is and be honest with yourself about what you see. And then the other thing with this that I want to mention, I'm not showing your I'm not showing this on the screen, but I have your chart right here. Okay, I have your chart right here. You have a Scorpio rising. You have a Scorpio rising. You have Neptune as well, which is conjunct the Scorpio rising. It's retrograde. And then that is opposing the Venus energy in the seventh house in Taurus. So, yeah, it could be that already you can sort of have this hopeless romantic outlook toward relationships and partners. And then also, let's consider in your chart how you have Saturn and Chiron in Pisces in the fifth house. Okay. And this energy in the fifth house, of course, the fifth house is tied to romantic partners. So we are noticing here just the trials and tribulations to do with romance and partnership in general. So with this all being said, when we put it back onto this solar return chart, I would just say to be cautious. I mean, I do see this as potentiality for, these huge leaps, these huge transformations when it comes to love for you, when it comes to romance. Okay, so with Pluto there, but still, just I want to say this in a nice way. Just try and not give in to false promises. That's what I'm going to say with that one. Okay. So that was your answer, Ellie. I hope that was beneficial. Yeah. When it comes to what I say, I really try to be honest about what I say in charts. The good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is. Yeah. Ellie, yeah, you have in the past. You always get your hopes up. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I do think that I think that there's always, I look at this as there is potentiality for things to align, if you know what I mean. And I wouldn't say that it's always this black and white way of like no or yes. I think that it's also important to recognize how we can be in control when it comes to our lives, when it comes to our charts. Okay, who's next? Nora. Let me see. Okay, so Nora, you have a question for me. So you said that you're struggling with your career, work environment, toxic bosses. If you can see when things are shifting and if it's better to resign than stay in a job. Okay, let me see. The 30th of October, 1981, 11:45 a.m. Let me just read your question again. Struggling with your career. Okay. When things are shifting. Okay. Okay. Career. Oh. Um, Nora, can you? I just realized you haven't put your location. Yeah. Can you please send me your location as well? I need to know that for this. If you're still there. Oh, yes. Forgot to mention location. Okay, got it. Dua in guitar. Okay. Thank you. Um, Doa. 11:45 a.m. 30th of October, 1981, 11:45 a.m. Okay. And you want to know about your professional life, your career. Okay. And let me just double check this. Let's go. Here. Back. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me just save your chart. The one here. Radio. Here we go. Okay, so let me just, I want to try and find, where are you? Nora. Okay, Nora, so you want to know about work related things, okay? And you said about bosses and everything being somewhat toxic. So, well, when we look to your 10th house of career, okay, this is where we can find career. You have Libra there, but you actually have a Libra stellium, which includes Pluto conjunct Jupiter. Both Pluto and Jupiter are conjunct there. And then also Saturn is there as well. And then Mercury is there. So I do see this as possible power struggles between you and members of authority. This is what we are noticing. But then we're also noticing here how rewarding your role can be too, right? How rewarding it can be to perhaps help other people, to be in a position where you are communicating, or when you are sharing your wisdom, you're sharing your knowledge with others. And I do think that you value teamwork. I think that that's what you need when it comes to your career, when it comes to your professional life. You really do value teamwork. This whole notion of like being in a network or being in a unity, right? And things need to feel unifying. And if they're not, then this is where we're noticing that you can have this part of you come out where it's like, no, justice, I need things to be balanced. Of course, when it comes to Libra energy can get to a point where it's like, my cup is empty right now, or like, no, I am standing up for myself, and no, this isn't okay. So I think here with the South Node, okay, so the South Node is going to enter your 10th house from July 2023 until January 2025. And you know what? It is going to pass over Pluto. It's going to pass over Jupiter. Pointing toward what? Pointing toward major career transformations. Okay? Pointing toward new opportunities. Now, the conjunction here to Pluto and Jupiter probably won't be until this is the calculations for me. Probably won't be until probably a few months down the line, maybe toward the end of the year, this kind of direction. But then the thing is that I wanted to also look at your solar return chart, just to have a little sneak peek to see, what else is going on here. And from your birthday, so from the 30th of October this year, so you will have the midheaven in Capricorn and Pluto also there in Capricorn in the 10th house. So from your birthday, for the next year ahead, I see this as you experiencing this renewal, these major changes, major growth when it comes to your professional life, okay? Transformation again when it comes to Pluto. So yeah, that's just a couple of little themes, little things I was noticing there in your chart that I wanted to draw from. Right. So I hope that was okay for you, Nora. You're always in a manager position, end up teaching and training others. Okay, and I'm assuming that it's kind of getting to a point for you where it's like, why am I getting this job? Maybe, perhaps. Okay, so let's have a look. Next. So we've got Shadow Fire. Shadow Fire, and you were born. Just going to go on to the next page. You were born on the 15th of March, 1987, 4:30 a.m. San Diego, California. So you're curious on how both Saturn and Venus transits will affect you. Okay. So Shadow Fire. I just want to say here, folks, I apologize that I haven't been able to read along. I actually didn't expect to get this many people here today. I really didn't. So great turnout. Thank you so much. And let me know if you want me to do this again. I am enjoying it, and you know what? It's been fun to chat, and it's been good to help you guys and to give you some information about your charts. And I enjoy reading charts, of course, too. And it's good to meet new people. Okay, so the 15th of March. But yeah, no, I want to say my apologies for not being able to keep up with the chat and everything. As I say, I would like to upgrade the software, to maybe something a bit more up to date. But this is what we're working with now, and I think it still works. San Diego. 4:30 in the morning. And so we're looking at transits for you. Shadowfire, 4:30, 15th of March, 1987. Go. Okay, let's see if Shadow. Yeah, definitely let you know when I'll be back on again. Maybe I can make this like a monthly thing. You know what I mean? And maybe I can let you know then. So go here. Yeah, here. Shadow. Yeah. Okay, are you there, Shadow? Let me know if you're in the chat. So I'm no longer taking questions. We're full. We're fully booked for this session. Yeah. I'm just gonna check who all I have, and then so we have yeah, 3 more after. So we have Marciano, but then we have Naomi. Is that Naomi? And then we have Lavinia. Oh, Lavinia! Oh my gosh, thank you so much. No question. I just love your. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you. That was so sweet of you. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have 3 more. Yeah. Okay, Shadowfire, you're here. Good. So what I had a question for you, Shadowfire. What was my question for you? Yes, okay. So just to double check for you, this is your chart. Okay, so this is your chart, and your date of birth then is the 15th of March, 1987, San Diego, 4:30 in the morning. Right, and you want to know about both Saturn and Venus, how those transits will affect you. All right, so let's see. So you have, let's see, Saturn and Venus. All right, so you have Leo already in the seventh house, and then this means that there is currently this Leo stellium that's happening in your seventh house of relationships there. Um, relationships being, this could be romantic, this could also point toward business partners, business deals, okay, close friends, etc. So yeah, basically there is a big focus upon your one-to-one relationships right now. I'm thinking about what it is that you desire, what it is that you crave, what it is that you need, really, when it comes to unionship and partnership. And I think that the Venus retrograde here in Leo so that will be from the 22nd of July up until the 3rd of September. I think this is going to give you an opportunity for you to really reassess, where you are with things with regard to these partnerships of yours. And even just taking your time to really think about, the type of partner that does align with you, or if it is that you are already in a relationship, thinking about how it is that you show up within that particular relationship too. And then the significant thing about this as well is your natal Venus is in Aquarius. Juno is actually there too. And then you have an Aquarius rising. So I think that when it comes to partnerships and relationships, you need space, you need your freedom. I think that you really like that sort of the intellectual stimulation that comes from relationships. And then also when it comes to getting close, when it comes to establishing those meaningful bonds, I think that you like to switch things up suddenly out of nowhere, unexpectedly. You're someone who can't be tied down. Let's just say that. I mean, you're already a Pisces. Always, Pisces cannot be limited or told, you can't do this, you can't do that. And that mixed with the Aquarius energy, especially with Venus, it's like, yes, your freedom, you really value your freedom. And so with the Venus energy even opposing so Venus and Leo and all the Leo energy opposing that Aquarius energy for you right now and for the next few months to come, yeah, I think there are some serious questions here coming up to do with love and connection and romance and how confident you feel and how sure of yourself you are, etc. When it comes to these partnerships too. And then with Saturn there, okay, so Saturn is now transiting your second house of materials, resources, your earning potential. So you already have the Sun and Mercury there in Pisces in the second house. So I think that you a lot of your purpose is tied to the ways in which you earn money, and the ways in which you earn money may be through something like helping others, really being giving. Possibly this could be where you're very charitable, like you volunteer or you help out a lot, you even give without expecting anything in return. And but then I can't help but think that it can be at times to your detriment or to a fault. So maybe Saturn in this way is coming along and it's going to give you this opportunity to really look at that space that you hold for yourself too, or it will give you an opportunity to see how it is that you can manage your resources, your materials in a more realistic, somewhat more sensible way. Yeah, I would say that there's a lot of maturity to be performed here with respect to your earning, with respect to your spending, thinking about budgeting a little bit better, just making sure that you're saving a little each month, or that you can maybe even get to a point of feeling somewhat more settled in a financial way. Yeah, your finances seem to be quite a big theme here, then quite an area of focus, let's just say that, with Saturn transiting your second house. Okay, so that was you, Shadowfire. I hope you find that to be helpful. Okay, who is next? We got Marciano. Okay, Marciano, what are your greatest gifts? Ooh, I like that question. I really like that question. 18th of August, 1999. Lake Charles, Louisiana. Okay. Greatest gifts. Okay, so I'm just saying here, oh good, yay, Shadowfire, I'm so glad. I'm glad you find it to be helpful. Yes, that's what I want. I hope things are helpful, and I hope that things make sense for you guys. And then also I'm just clarifying that I'm not taking any more readings right now. I am going to be doing Marciano's and then finishing off by looking at Naomi's, and that is going to be us for today. But I will, of course, do another session if you really want me to. Let me know if that is something that you would like. I've really enjoyed this today. It's been interesting, trying to go back and forth and everything, but I've enjoyed it. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the turnout today. I really did not expect this turnout. Thank you so much, really. So 18th of August, 1999. And USA. And then I also just want to say I do have chart readings available on my website, hannahselsewhere.com. So yeah, you can book longer readings with me, readings where it's like goes into a lot more depth, a lot more detail. You can even book consultations with me. hannahselsewhere.com. So 6:08 a.m. Lake Charles, Louisiana. Marciano, 18th of August, 1999. Ooh. Oh, cool. Same name. Of course. Thank you for being here. This has been so fun. I love it. I love it. It's so fun. Okay, let's just show the screen. I want to show your chart, Marciano. Oh, my glasses are hurting me a little bit. They start to hurt at the back of my ears after a while. Okay. So, you want to know, Marciano, you want to know about your greatest gifts. Okay, so so often what I look at when it comes to gifts, talents, skills, these types of things, is I tend to look at the second house, okay, because that can represent our skills and talents. Also, Jupiter can turn up as or show up as our gifts. So Jupiter, and then also, you know what? The 12th house can look at hidden gifts, hidden talents that we have, which we may not be aware of. So in your case, Marciano, you have Virgo in the second house, and then you have Vesta. So Vesta, the asteroid Vesta, is tied to our eternal flame. It's largely tied to devotion, looking really at our craft, looking at how dedicated we are to our craft in a way. So for you, I think that well, the whole typical thing with Virgo of being of service, you may be really gifted at being of service to other people, really gifted even at homing your craft, where it's like there's a particular skill you have where you will work at it, you'll perfect it, you'll want to do better and better and improve more and more. And maybe these certain skills you have are somehow tied to DIY or even maths, calculations, or maybe you are really good at organizing or seeing, how things need to fit, or you love color coordination, or you love being able to sort out your files in particular neat ways, or maybe you even enjoy reading. You consider yourself to be quite the reader. You even have Mercury, which is the ruler of Virgo. Okay, so the ruler of Virgo, the ruler of your second house there, Mercury is in Leo. And so that's in Leo, and then it's in your first house. And so I think that there is a sense of like you communicating with confidence. And then also the things that you enjoy reading, the things that you're interested in may involve a lot of drama and theatrics, entertaining things, just things that really grab your attention and grab your focus in a very lively way. And then with you having all that Leo energy, it's like, whoa, okay, so you are Leo, you've got your rising sign in Leo as well. So there's a lot of Leo there really pointing toward how creative you can be. But of course, we're focusing on this question. So then with Jupiter being there in Taurus as well, I think that you can also be somewhat gifted at planning, maybe planning financially for the future, maybe gifted at something fashionable, something artistic, something creative, something musical, and then even being able to share these gifts and these talents with the world. Now, do keep in mind that you have Saturn there as well. You have not experienced your first Saturn return yet. Now, Saturn, of course, can show up as some type of limitations and blockages, okay, during your early life when it comes to these things that I mentioned, but you will improve, so it's really about building and building and improving and just keeping at it, right? Hard work and dedication when it comes to Saturn. And also, I would say with this, the part of fortune is even tied to our talents and gifts. I would say that too. So the part of fortune only amplifies the very things that I've been talking about with respect to that Taurus energy. And then the last thing is Cancer. So Cancer is in the 12th house. So you know what? Maybe so a certain hidden talent or hidden gift you have is actually it's tied to being a caregiver. It's tied to being a nurturer. You may be really like empathetic toward other people's needs and you may not even be aware of it. It's almost like you just know, you get a feeling, you get a hunch. And you may even just subconsciously be able to know how to care for other people. But yeah, these are some of the gifts and talents you may possess, Marciano. So, okay. Oh, Sean. So, Sean, you said, okay, let me just check these. Let me just check these. I want to check. So if I go up to the start. Again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let me just check something here because I'm trying to find Naomi. And then Sean, you said you also sent. So I'm trying to find the information. Oh, no. Sorry. People are saying tapping sounds so soothing. And then other people are saying it sounds so sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so Naomi, are you in the chat? Are you still there? So we're currently the readings are cut off. So I'm done taking readings. So I'm in the process of finding Naomi. Are you here? So I'm looking for Naomi, so she would have left. Okay. Okay. So Noemi. Okay. She's gone. Okay. So Sean, then, are you there? Are you still there, Sean? I do. Okay, you are. Okay. Sean, can you please resend me your information? So you're going to be the last one that I do today. And Naomi, if you're watching this as a replay later on, you if you're watching this as a replay later on, please there you are. Yeah, there you are. Thank you. Hi. Okay, so I'm going to take your information. 1989, 12:46 p.m. I'm assuming, and that's Dallas. And Naomi, did you have a question? Was it a question? And then, okay, tell you about your career within the next 6 to 12 months. Okay, career. Okay. And then lastly, Sean, you're going to be last, Sean. Thank you so much, folks. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to take your information down right now, Sean. This, I think, is what I'm going to do from now on. Is like as soon as the information comes up, boom, it's getting written down. So I'm not having to go up. So 27th of June, 1973 to 31 p.m. And that's Torrance, California. Okay, Naomi, I'm going to type in your info. All right. Let's do this. 27th January 1989. USA, Dallas, Texas. T. And you were born at 12:46 p.m. 1989. Okay. Okay, so you want to know about career things over the next like 6 to 12 months. Okay. So if I also grab your solar return chart. So that would be from now until there. Right, if I save and one. Okay. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you. I'm so glad that Naomi, you turned up. Okay, let's pull up this. All right, so Naomi, you want to know about career related information over the next 6 to 12 months. So what I did is I wanted to look at your solar return chart for this year. So this will be from 2023 until 2024. Let's double check that. Okay, so notice here how the North Node is in Taurus there. Uranus also, the midheaven is in Taurus. The part of fortune is up there, and then the moon. Okay, there's a lot to do with needing to feel secure within your profession. Okay, there is a lot to do with focusing heavily upon stability and having consistency. Okay, having like this sense of consistency and reliability there. Now, at the same time, do keep in mind that with Uranus, I mean, expect the unexpected when it comes to Uranus. In a flash, something can change, but that can be in a better way, in an improving way, where it's like, oh my gosh, yes, suddenly this new position presented itself and this is so great. Or it could be where, things maybe turn in a different way, in a different direction. Now, this is where I also want to highlight. So if we think about how in your natal chart, so I have a copy of your natal chart here as well. So you have a Taurus rising, your Jupiter is in Taurus, you have Mars in Taurus as well. So you're essentially going through your Jupiter return, right? And you won't feel the real impacts of this until 2024, okay? With Jupiter, of course, having entered Taurus on the 16th of May. But I do think that this does suggest these new opportunities, expanding your horizons when it comes to your resources, your finances, your physical security. Now, with that being said, do keep in mind that over the last while, we have been experiencing this grand fixed cross. So this has been happening in your angular houses, so being your 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th houses, Naomi. So I would say that there has been some stagnation, some slowness or resistance, or like, when will this end? This type of energy going on. But I do think that over the next year, things will start to move and turn in these gradual ways, right? It's slow. There's a slow process here, I think, for you, but I do think that the Jupiter return that you're going to really experience very soon, realistically speaking, I think it's going to highlight this new view, this new vision. And then if you even mix that in with the fact that you have the Taurus energy in the 10th house for this particular solar return year, the Taurus energy going into that 10th house is highlighting then, yes, these significant changes to do with your career and possibly even getting to a place of greater ease and greater security. Okay. So there are just a few things that I wanted to say that I noticed. You want to know about January? So you want to know about January 2024 specifically? Hold on. Are you still there, Naomi? I'm just reading through the comments. Okay, so I'm going to come out of that. Okay, so Sean. Last one, Sean. We have the 27th of June, 1973. And USA, Florence, California, at 2:31 p.m. 27th of June, 1973, 2:31 p.m., Torrance, California. Sean, so you wanted to know about your Mars, how beneficial, influential, malefic, strong is it in your chart, especially with it opposing Pluto. Also, just find out you're having a Chiron return right now. So you have a Chiron in Aries? Yes, you do indeed, and it's right there with your ascendant. Okay. Yeah, so you want to know about your Mars. Or no, I apologize. That's not the right one. It's this one. It's this one. It's not there. It's in your sixth house. Chiron's in your sixth house. Okay. All right. So, Sean. Okay, so this is the last reading that I'm doing today. Been here for about 2 hours. Thank you so much for this turnout, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Okay, Naomi, no problem. Okay, just an overall. Okay, perfect. Well, I hope you find it to be helpful. And thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, Pluto going into your 10th house, that already happened for a little bit. So you may have gotten a glimpse of, okay, there's going to be these real changes going on here by the beginning of 2024, even throughout the next 20 years or so. Of course, that's a long period of time. But yeah, a lot of changes and transformations to do with your professional life, to do with your reputation, your public image there, Naomi, with all that Aquarius energy, especially in your 10th house. You have a lot of that Aquarius energy going on up there. So yeah, I would say that this looks at a time period of you really reinventing yourself with respect to your profession. Okay. Right. So lastly, Sean, just to mention here, you said that you want to know about Mars and its influence, and then with it opposing Pluto. Okay. Okay, Sean. So where are we looking at? Mars. Oh, this is solar return. My apologies. Give me a moment here. Give me just a moment. I will get this info. I need to. I went on to the solar return part. Okay, we want to look at transits. So, and then go here. Okay, 27th of June, 1973, 2:31. Okay, that's us now. Come rid of that. Here we go. Here. All right. So you have Mars there in Aries in the 7th house. So if we think about Mars in Aries, it's home. So Mars is home in the sign of Aries, and yes, it can show up as you having a lot of passion, having so much drive. You can be this self-starter, this self-motivator. You can be someone who, whenever it comes to your goals, you're like, right, okay, let's go after them. Let's do it. And you can even bring this type of eagerness, this type of enthusiasm to your relationships. Maybe you have even entered into business partnerships where you have initiated them or you have taken the lead, or it's that often relationships bring these parts of you out. That it's almost like your relationships force you to assert yourself, or they force you to take action. And then with the Mars energy opposing Pluto, I would say that your relationships have completely given you another perspective, huge revelations to do with your identity, to do with your overall approach to life. You even have Uranus there in the first house. So Pluto and Uranus being in the first house I mean, this points toward how much you reinvent yourself, how much you have overcome throughout your life, how much you have been in positions where it's like, right, you need to act on this, you need to do something about this. See, I think with even Mars here in the 7th house, it can point toward even you, I would say, not asserting yourself when you need to, maybe because of power struggles, even thinking about power struggles within relationships, thinking about manipulative tactics, being with certain people where it's almost like you have to fight for your freedom, or you have to defend yourself, you have to fight for who you are, essentially. And then Chiron even being a part of this as well in the 7th house, and then you going through your Chiron return. I think that you have experienced particular wounds and stressors to do with relationships, and how it is that you assert yourself within your relationships, and coming to these harsher conclusions about what you need to let go of as well. I see this as you having to really do a lot of that introspection, self-reflection. And the thing about this too, of course, is Chiron it's going to turn retrograde. The dates. It's sometime throughout the summer. Okay, it's coming up basically. Okay, it's coming up in July. I'm pretty sure it's in July. Okay, so Chiron is going to go retrograde, and that's going to take place all the way up until like December, January. So I would say that this will be a way for you to, do a lot of that introspection, to really get straight with yourself about, what it is that you need with respect to other people in general, what it is you need when it comes to even business partners, business deals, negotiations, collaborations. And the last thing that I want to throw into this, of course, is the nodes. So the nodes are going to be changing. So the nodes, the North node is going to enter Aries. The South node is going to enter Libra from July until January 2025. So I do see this as you entering this new chapter where it is about your independence, your freedom, even possibly thinking about spontaneity. So how spontaneous can you be when it comes to relationships as well? But really a new approach, a new strategy overall coming up for you. And then do keep in mind that the South node will also be in Libra. So looking as well at your overall identity in terms of how you relate to other people there. Okay, so that was yours, Sean. Let me have a look all the way down to the bottom. So that was yours, Sean. I hope that you find it to be useful. And that's everyone. I believe that is everyone. I got through everybody's chart today. And on that note, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, Sean. Of course, no problem. Thank you. And today, because we've been here now 2 hours, nearly 2 hours, and I want to say so much for being here, and to all of you who did purchase this a short reading with me today. I hope that you find it to be useful and helpful during this point in your life. And naturally, if you would like to book a reading with me, I have readings available. I have 45-minute readings, which is looking at a general chart reading. And then there are also other readings, so the return readings, where you can go more in depth, more in detail. Also Saturn return readings, relationship readings, synastry composite charts. There are consultations there. So basically just check out my services, hannahselsewhere.com, and you can book a reading with me. But that is me. And thank you so much. And I will do this again. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to do this again. Maybe we can make it a monthly thing or a weekly thing. Let me know what you think. Is this something that you you would like. And I do notice that there are a lot of people in the comments that were saying that they missed out and that they wanted one. So we can perhaps arrange this for another time. Sean, you said you like to do a composite. Yeah, it definitely adds another layer when it comes to composite and synastry, looking at relationships. Han, that's great. And Sean, you said weekly. Okay. Well, yeah, your feedback is definitely valuable. At the end of the day, it is about you guys and you wanting to watch and wanting to tune in. I have a few other ideas that I would like to share, but I'm not sure quite yet. But maybe in the future I can share these, and perhaps you can participate in them as well. I have so many ideas. But anyway, I just want to say thank you again. Happy weekend. I hope you have the best weekend, and happy new moon in Gemini, which is coming up. Clearly, this was a good time to do this with the moon in Gemini and then all the Leo energy going on. But anyway, folks, that is me. Thank you kindly, and I will speak to you all soon. And if you haven't subscribed and you're new to this, my name's Hannah. I'm a Western Practical Astrologer. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed it today, and hopefully I'll be back soon with more readings. Yay! Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Bye.